following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Monster Month video. Hello to my subscribers. This is the TFangy coming to you with my next Transformers review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Legacy Beast Wars Sandstorm, one of the 3 Walmart exclusive Beast Wars characters to be released in the Legacy line. As was the case with the previous figure we looked at, Buzzsaw, Sandstorm is one of only 3 Transformers figures in the Legacy line that have deluxe figures that has a clear plastic window on here, and so essentially the 3 Walmart exclusive Beast Wars Transformers Legacy figures of Beast Wars Buzzsaw, Beast Wars Sandstorm, and Night Prowler, who we haven't looked at yet. And these are some of the probably going to be the last deluxe class Transformers figures that have a clear plastic window on the box, so that's a little discouraging. Again, this is part of a Beastman review. Shout out to him. This is part of his Monster Month video series in celebration of Halloween, where we look at monstrous looking Transformers figures. So here's Beast Wars Sandstorm. He's a repaint of Beast Wars Scorponok with a alternate head sculpt that is based off of the mutant head that the original Beast Wars Scorponok figure came with. So, as I said in my review of Buzzsaw, the Beast Wars figures originally had a gimmick of having a face change gimmick where they went from a more humanoid head to a mutant head. Sandstorm here is a repaint of Kingdom Beast Wars Scorponok, and this is the more humanoid head that Scorponok's original Beast Wars figure had, and Sandstorm has the more monstrous-looking mutant head. There's a third in the time since the Sandstorm was released, this mold has been released a third time as a second version of Beast Wars Scorponok. Unfortunately, it's not a third character. This is this version that was sold in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Creatures Collide 4-pack has the paint job that Scorponok's original Beast Wars action figure had. When you get this figure, it did come with the more humanoid head attached to it. I put the mutant head on it because I thought it made it look more monstrous, and yeah, that was the gimmick with the original Beast Wars figures, is that you'd flip the head around and you would get a different face on the original Beast Wars figures. That gimmick was dropped in the Beast Wars cartoon in favor of the characters just having the same face all the time in robot mode, and as a result, today that face change gimmick has been dropped from the Beast Wars action figures. I've been debating with myself if I'm going to keep Sandstorm with his the head that he comes with, or if I'd attach the alternate head that Buzzworthy Scorponok came packaged with. I'm still deciding. But anyways, here is Sandstorm in his box. Again, with the exception of his head sculpt, he's a straight-up repaint of Kingdom Scorponok. He's just done entirely in a desert, sandy orange paint job, with the one exception of him being his legs being cast in purple plastic. So there's his Scorpion mode. Anyways, here he is in his Scorpion mode. It's really nice artwork of him there on the box. On this side of the box, you got the poster image for the Legacy line. You got the Decepticons. On this side, you got Sandstorm in his robot mode. His close-up of his new head sculpt, and there's the zoomed out version of that same image where he's in his robot mode and he's ready to fight the Maximals. Coming here to the back of the box, you got Sandstorm. Form's product photos. There he is in his robot mode and in his beast mode of a scorpion, and he transforms back and forth between both modes in 24 steps. And I don't know too much about different species of scorpion, but similar to Buzzsaw, Beast Wars Sandstorm, his paint job, I believe, is designed to be much closer to an actual scorpion, unlike Beast Wars Scorponok, but I have seen live videos of scorpions who have dark purplish gray exoskeletons like Scorponok does, but it's all personal preference. But again, it is a pretty decent looking paint job, and it does distinguish him. And as I said, even though the mold has been used a third time, the third version of the mold is an alternate version of Beast Wars Scorponok. So out of the 3 molds, Sandstorm's the most unique because he's the only version of the mold that is not Beast Wars Scorponok, unlike it was with Beast Wars Buzzsaw and Waspinator and Sky Wasp. So, without further delay, let's get him out of his box and take a close look at him in his robot mode. Alright, and here is Sandstorm out of the box and in his robot mode. And if you have Kingdom Scorponok, or the buzzworthy one, or both, then then the selling point for Beast Wars Sandstorm is his mostly orange and Andy tan paint job with purple highlights. So that's really all there is to it here. In the Netflix Kingdom series, there was a scene showing that in the Netflix cartoon, Scorponok was like a trooper, uber soldier for the Predacons. So if you wanted to mimic that scene, you could use all three versions of this mold to mimic that scene where you have multiple copies of Scorponok attacking the Autobots and the Maximals. So for a size comparison, here is Sandstorm next to both versions of Scorponok, the Kingdom version and the buzzworthy Legacy version. Again, the selling point for Sandstorm is his paint job. It is the most distinguished out of all three molds, and of course he's the only version of the mold that isn't Beast Wars Scorponok. I think it would have been, wouldn't have mind if this version of Scorponok had been given a different name rather than it just being the paint job that he had, that his original Beast Wars figure had. But what are you gonna do? So, if you have Scorponok, Sandstorm, the articulation's the same, ball jointed head, so it can rotate left and right. I look up and down ever so slightly. Arms can go forward and backward 360 degrees at the shoulder. Swivel joint in the bicep, hinge joint in the elbow, but it's very tight, fresh out of the box. And of course, you have wrist articulation, so the claws. My apologies for it being so low. But the claws can rotate up and down, and they can open and shut. I want to say a good. Can't remember what's between 90 and 180 degrees. Is it 135? I can't remember. But yeah, the claws can open up that much. And he has the exact same accessory pieces that come with both versions of Scorponok. You got 2 missile pods on here, and then you've got the B drone on here that Scorponok used in one episode of Transformers Beast Wars to try and control Optimus Primal like a puppet. And unfortunately, this is one of the smallest deluxe figures to be released in the Kingdom line. The tail being up here on top of the head, that is what makes this figure the same height as the other deluxe class as Transformers figures that were released in the Kingdom line. So if you lower the tail from the actual height of the top of the robot head down to the feet, yeah, this is one of the this is arguably the smallest deluxe figure to come out of the Kingdom line, and it's the Beast Wars Scorponok, the Kingdom Beast Wars Scorponok mold is the smallest deluxe class mold to be based on a Beast Wars Transformers character. Now, officially, you're supposed to have the pelvis sit right here directly under the waist, but on both copies of Scorponok, I don't know if you could see it on here, but on both my copies of Scorponok, when I tried to shove the pelvis up into the torso, the two halves of the chest wanted to flop open, so I just left it down right there. And it does add a fraction of an inch of height to the figures. It's not much of a difference, and my camera isn't really picking it up, but if you want to make the figure slightly taller, then you can leave the pelvis lowered a little bit. That's one thing you can do. And then, of course, because his head is on a ball joint that can be detached easily, you can, if you want to, do the head swap here on Beast Wars Sandstorm. So if you want him to look more like Scorponok, there's the alternate humanoid head that came with buzzworthy Scorponok. I honestly cannot decide which head I like more, if I like the head that was designed for Sandstorm, which is the mutant head, or if I like this more metallic purple head. It's not quite the same shade of metallic purple that's used on Sandstorm's legs and his scorpion stinger and his weapons, but it's pretty close. So if you want to see what Scorponok looked like with Beast Wars Scorponok's more well-known humanoid head, then there you go. That's what it looks like with that. So get this head detached. I might keep the mutant head. I might just keep the mutant heads on buzzworthy Scorponok and Sandstorm, just so Kingdom Scorponok can have the most unique head sculpt out of all three of them. Yes, that's pretty much all there is to say for articulation. The waist can swivel 360 degrees left and right, but it's hindered by the scorpion tail hanging off the back. Like you got swivel joints in the thighs, hinge joints in the knees. The feet can go up and down with the toes, but that's primarily a transformation joint. And there are ankle rockers, so if you want to get this figure into a sprawl-legged pose, you can. But unfortunately, the figure's so short that having it stand erect is going to give you the greatest height out of it. So with that out of the way, let's get Sandstorm transformed and take a close look at him in his beast mode and wrap up the review. Oh yeah, one thing before we actually get into the transformation, I forgot to show this off with my review of Buzzsaw. Sandstorm's faction symbol is right here on his shoulder. He is a Predacon. And the faction symbol on all three versions of this mold, it's in the same location, which is the right side shoulder. So that same Predacon faction symbol is on both versions of Scorponok as well, but because on the other versions of Scorponok, the Predacon faction symbol is it's on a much darker shade of plastic, unless you hold a bright light up to it, like the sun shining through my window right now is shining it up here on Buzzworthy Scorponok shoulder. But if you were to give it a passing glance without a bright light shining on it, you probably miss the faction symbol entirely. So, Sandstorm, his faction symbol is the easiest of the three to spot, and I just wanted to share that with you. Alright, so here is Sandstorm transformed into his Scorpion mode, or Beast mode, and yeah, it's a pretty freaky looking Scorpion with its mostly orange and tan paint job, the purple legs and stinger. I don't know if it's just me or not, but it does make Sandstorm look menacing having this color palette to him. And again, the paint job is pretty much the selling point for Sandstorm. In Scorpion mode, there's no different sculpt and detailing whatsoever between him and the two versions of Scorponok. So for a size comparison, here he is with Kingdom Scorponok, and again, pretty much the best distinction you can do is to put the weapons inside different claws, having the missile pods on one claw and having the B-E weapon on another claw. And here it is with Buzzworthy Scorponok. I honestly wish they would have made this a separate character, but anyways. Yeah, so out of all three versions of this mold, it's only the original version of Kingdom Scorponok that's been released at mass retail, so pretty much the best incentive to buy my Legacy Beast Wars Sandstorm is if you want to get this another version of the Kingdom Scorponok mold and you want to have another Scorpion in your Transformers collection. So thank you to my friend Beastman Reviews for the Monster Month video series. With his mostly orange and tan paint job, Beast Wars Sandstorm definitely fits the build of being a monstrous looking Halloween Scorpion, in my opinion. I apologize for not bringing out any of my a G1 Sandstorm figures to do another size comparison with, but again, the only similarity between Beast Wars Sandstorm and Generation 1 Sandstorm is the fact that they have the exact same name and they have orange as one of their main paint jobs. Thank you guys all so much. This has been Fangy. This has been my review of Transformers Legacy Beast Wars Sandstorm, and for the main question of do I recommend getting this figure added to your Transformers collection, I only recommend getting this figure if you like the Kingdom Scorponok mold and if you like seeing it in orange and desert sand colors, then this figure is for you. But if you're not really a fan of this mold, then it's an easy pass. So it's not really a must-have figure in your collection, and my pet cat decided to join me on the video review, so there's his cameo there. Here to end the video off. So thank you guys all so much, and until next time, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.